Welcome back to Finnegan Begin Again. What you see here is all the parts that I need to reassemble the chassis. Get it rolling, get the engine in, transmission in, and get all that tested. So I've laid it out pretty much how everything is going to be going in off to the side. We've got our front springs, tie rods, brake, backing plate, and a tire. Kind of go all the way around. There we have our rear tie rod, axle housing, bumper brackets, gas tank, drive shaft, axles, banjo rear end, transmission, engine waiting to be mated together, headers to go on once we can get it out of the cradle, steering leakages, brake shoes, radiator, steering pieces. So it's time to get started putting them back together, starting from the skeleton, and then we'll put the body on. Today we're going to press the shackle pins into the leaf springs. Hopefully we don't crush them. All right, now we're gonna take off the Zerk fitting and the special nut from the front leaf springs, which is the correct thing, so we can understand what this bolt looks like and potentially create another one for the rear leaf springs. Go ahead. Well, that was easy. Okay, what it turns out is that there is, let's focus here, focus, come on, focus. So if you can see it, it's kind of sloppy in there. There's a gap between the bolt and the leaf spring. So that Zerk fitting on the end just squishes all that lubricant down along the side of the bolt. And then it's, you know, sealed with a nut on this end and a head on the other side, so it just squeezes out into the leaf springs and lubricates. So check with the rear leaf spring, and it's the same way. So don't need to replace that bolt. Okay. Okay, so we have passenger spindle on, all of our assembly up, lined up, in there, about to press it on. Here we go. Kingpin 1. Oh, and also the little slot for the cross pin is aligned. So remember that spindle that we put on? Go ahead, Bubba. Well, our bushing on the top and the bottom, as soon as we locked that kingpin in with the cross pin, it wouldn't turn anymore except with the really, really long breaker bar. And I don't think the steering is going to work for that. So we took it off, we remeasured, and those bushings are a little bit big.
Small.
Like, well, small, yeah. Meaning that the pin going through is, it basically, us pressing it in, it took off, what, 5 thousandths?
Something like that, but it wasn't straight either, so.
Yeah, so we're now, we've removed that spindle, and we're now honing out the bushings to see if that will make it work a little bit better.
They're about 803 thousandths, right? It needs to go to 812, so it's, what is that, 6, 7, 8, 9 thousandths. Yeah. So they're 9 thousandths undersized on the ID.
This is gonna take a little bit. Fun times, fun times. We're gonna take apart and clean up the tie rod. I'll take off the old ball joint. I've loosened it up with a breaker bar, so it should just unthread. If I were a stronger man. There, take that out, clean up the tie rod itself, and then we've got new ball joints to put on it. Before we go and use the wire wheel, and after, looking a lot better. Now we'll just prime it and paint it and make it pretty like the rest of the chassis pieces. The continuing saga of the spindle bushings. Bubba has removed the bushings. Prior to that, he purchased a reamer that was the correct size, or adjustable up to the right size that we wanted it to be. And he reamed them out much quicker than using the hone, but finished them up with a beautiful little hone so that they're nice and polished inside. And now we found out that they're a little bit loose inside of the housing, spindle housing, so we're putting retaining compound on them and pressing them in by hand. Compound will cure in about 24 hours, and all we need to do is make sure that grease hole on the bushing is aligned with the zerk fitting in the housing, so we can push in our lubricant as necessary. We want to put that retaining compound on there because the kingpin going through it, as the bushing rotates around that kingpin, the bushing, if it's that loose, can rotate inside of the housing, and then that'll misalign the greasing hole and cause other problems. So we don't want to do that.
What do you want to do?
Visually verify that the greasing hole is aligned, which it is. Yay, 3 more to do. It's now time. While we wait for the spindle to harden up a little bit, those bushings harden up, we're going to go ahead and put the axle on tie rod here. Well, the, not tie rod, whatever that thing is called. I don't know. You remember how hard it was to get these perch pins out? Well, watch how easy they go in.
Wow.
Nice. Finally, something that's easy.
I'm letting go.
Maybe it doesn't need the shim.
It's down here.
Take the shim out.
Sloppiness there, but I don't know if we need the shim. I'm not sorry. Okay, let's try dropping this in. Oh, it's from there. And hold on, nope.
Oh, that's actually really nice, but I can't tell if the. I can't tell if it's lined up.
Let me get a pick.
Should be self-aligning, right? And look, it turns.
I've learned before.
Hallelujah. Okay, we're gonna call that one on.
Feels good.
Now, the second one.